chosen this forum to reveal a little bit of my iceberg. There's an element of diversity to it as well, so hopefully you can pick up on that. But obviously, mainly you can see that the day after the 2009 London Marathon, I very foolishly signed up for the 2010 marathon. I enlisted the help of a fitness instructor, as I had no idea what to do, who promptly cut down on my lifestyle. I had some queries as I'd had a slip disc 6 months previously, and 2 years before that I'd been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. I didn't know what that was, so I don't know if you do. It's a disease of the central nervous system. Your immune system attacks itself, leaving scars on your brain or in your spinal cord. And because of the nature of the disease and your nerves, it has a multitude of symptoms, and nobody has the same story with it. It's called multiple sclerosis because there are multiple. Sclerosis is the old Greek word for scar, which is what the scars on your brain, and this is a sort of list of what the symptoms can do to you where the scars are. They don't know what causes it or what cures it. There are some environmental factors. The further you live away from the equator is one of the factors. Genetics play a part, infections, where you grew up, which was the environmental factor. And they're doing a lot of research into vitamin D, and basically 95%, that's a serious story, 95% of people in the UK are vitamin D deficient. They're not saying it's a cause, it's just a contributing factor. Lying in the sun every weekend does not help me. Right now, I have to inject a preventative medicine 3 times a week. I also took part in a drug trial, although I was given the regular licensed drug compared to this new, apparently, miracle wonder drug, and I was on a Sky News report where they pretended I was on the drug. So, back to marathon training. I'm playing it down a bit here. It was hard work. Very draining. At the same time, I raised £2,500 for the MS Society, for the MS Trust. Did some fundraising activities and badgered my friends a lot. Here I am, entering into Greenwich Park in London, where it starts. Very nervous, but fully trained, a lot of hard work, anticipating the day. The London Marathon had that year had about 40,000 entrants. I think 37,000 crossed the line, the start line. Including people like Richard Branson, who was sponsoring it for the first time last year. So it was the first Virgin London Marathon, and I was a Virgin Marathon runner. So that was Princess Beatrice ran it, and there was tons and tons of people, and the guy from Kenya won it, who I can't pronounce his name. And this is my little collage of the day. You might be able to see that I'm walking a lot of it. My knee buggered up with the last half of it, so I ran the first half, so just past Tower Bridge, and then I did have to walk, but I was only 20 minutes slower in the second half than I was in the first. I could walk fast, and I did it! I crossed the line. Amazing, amazing feeling. I really thoroughly recommend it. I have never run more than 5k in one go in my life before, and I never even wanted to be honest, until suddenly I just felt like it was a really good personal challenge, because I never thought I'd be able to do it. So then we went on to party mode, woo, for 6 months. During which time a friend of mine told me about a competition to write a concept for a script for a short film about the positives of MS. So I thought, what can I write about? I wrote that's my little sort of script there, parallels about being diagnosed with MS, signing up for the marathon, and the parallels of all the emotions that you go through, and the end result. And I won out of hundreds of global entries, so that's really quite exciting. So the next thing I had to do is talk a lot to the director, who ignored a lot of my feedback. And she, in turn, went to a storyboard, professional storyboard drawer, and they came up with these stories. So this is the character getting diagnosed, and training, and I spent the day on set. They filmed it all in one day. It's a 5-minute film. They filmed it all in one day. This is me sitting with the actress that plays me. How many times do you get to say that? And this is when they're filming the office scenes, which if you watch the film, then you can tell it's not really about us. The premiere of the film was in Brussels in January this year. There was a panel of European Member of Parliament, a head of an MS society, a leading neurologist, and they showed it on a big screen, like in a cinema format, and then they presented me with a framed thing with the storyboard. So it's now available either on this website or via YouTube. It's called MS, It's a Marathon, Not a Sprint, because the disease lasts your entire life. And the marathon bus feels like it's going to last your life. What next was I was asked to write an article for the MS Trust. It's one of the longest essays I've ever written since I left school. Again, that's available online if anyone would like to read it. But that's my story. The film is not really my story. This is my story. So it was nice to be able to say that. And going on from that, before I came out here, I was interviewed by the horrible Mail on Sunday, but it does have a 2 million readership, so the word spreading is getting out there, which is good. I've been invited to the European MS Platform Congress in May, again in Brussels, where they're going to show the film again and introduce me again. And my brother and I are doing a sibling study, so they're going to take blood from him and me and compare it to find out why I got it and he didn't. And that's it.
Would you want to run the marathon again?
Never. No, I actually signed up, and if you do watch the film, right at the end, it says, yeah, this is based on a true story by Sarah Rich, and she signed up for the Reading oh no, it says marathon, even though I did tell her it was half marathon, but that was 2 weeks ago, so unfortunately I was here, so I couldn't run it. But I might attempt to do a half marathon from now, but nothing more than that.
I've changed 5 slides for YouTube.